Hello everybody, this is Mithril Zenith, and today I wanted to talk about pure water. I know that I said that I might not be doing too many of these weapon reviews and item reviews, but I did want to mention pure water because it is something that has been talked about in my comment section, it's been requested of me, and I think it's interesting. So, Pure Water has been mostly unchanged for almost the entire series. There's only two games that we have to kind of single out. Never appeared in Guided and Echoes, but outside of that, it's been in some form throughout pretty much all the series. Oh, I guess it wasn't in Genealogy either. It increases resistance by 7 and decreases by 1 every turn, except for in Thracia, where resistance was equal to magic, and so it increased magic by 7, making it both a defensive and offensive utility item. And in Awakening, where it only increased resistance by 5, which, combined with Awakening's incredibly high stats and stat caps for both player and enemy units, ended up making pure water far less useful than it otherwise has been. Now, pure water is also interesting to note because of the way that resistance has changed throughout the games. In Shadow Dragon, particularly, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, Fire Emblem 1, uh, mages don't have strength. Like, mages don't have magic, their spells don't increase, it just is the base spell power. And so pure water means that you take basically no damage from fire, blizzard, or thunder spells the turn you use it. Your units also don't have a way of really gaining resistance outside of the talisman, which you can only get in the desert chapter. It's guarded by Garnef and then his mages. Or from the secret shop in the second to last chapter of the game. There might be one more talisman elsewhere in the game, but aside from that, it's just pure water. So, pure water ends up being incredibly useful in that game. Other games, it goes up and down with more or less use, but it's always somewhat useful, at the very least, to help top off your resistance. I think that it's... Oh, wait, I guess it doesn't exist in Fates either, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. Pure water is fun. Pure water is good. I like the idea of pure water. I like it existing in the game. I think it's a good idea to have something that's like a temporary buff, so long as it's significant enough to warrant its use. In Awakening, I think it was too weak. 5 points is not generally enough to be considered useful, except in like very specific circumstances. But plus 7 is pretty significant. The fact that it slowly decreases means that it's still useful for several turns, but you're gonna get the most benefit out of it immediately after use, so you want to plan when you use it. For chapters with a lot of mages, it's really worth looking into. Garnef's Tower in Fire Emblem 1, Shadow Dragon. Certain chapters in... now that I'm thinking about it, where are there a lot of mages? I guess in like Sacred Stones, maps with lots of Gorgons and Archmogols with ranged, long-range shadow shots. Any map where you have siege tomes like Meteor and Bolting, pure water can be worth using to mitigate some of the damage you take there. It's also interesting in certain games like the GBA games where status staff hit rate is impacted by resistance. So a pure water can give you another, like, I think it's like what, 14 extra avoid against status staves, which can mean quite a bit. Yeah, pure water is good. I like pure water. I like the concept of pure water being that buff item that you use. It being something that you'll probably get one or two given to you throughout the game. You have the options of stocking up on more, but you don't really have to. It's just often forgotten about. I think a lot of times people get the pure water, they don't need it right away, they stick it in their convoy, and then they just kind of forget they have it. And then when they hit a point where it's like, oh, I might need to use the pure water, oh, but I'm already halfway through the chapter, I don't want to have to restart just to get to the convoy, or, getting to the convoy and bringing it out, whatever. And oftentimes a lot of people will get a pure water pretty early on in the game, they don't need it, so they sell it for a little extra money, And then by that point, it's like, well, you don't have a pure water. Am I going to go find a shop and buy some more? Probably not. Pure water is something that we have seen coming back in Engage, though, so we'll see how that works. We'll see if it's useful. But what are your thoughts? Let me know what you feel about pure water. When has it been the most useful? When has it been the most useless? And let me know in the comments down below. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel for more conversations like this. Let me know what other weapons or items you want to see me talk about. And until next time, this is Mythos Zenith signing out.